It's the unexpected Hollywood turn. According to reports, Keith Urban is pleading with Nicole Kidman to bring him back after almost 20 years of marriage. A $325 million zero-cents empire, 2 daughters, and innumerable red carpet appearances. Yes, this same man who quietly agreed to only 59 days of annual visitation with his children, signed away primary custody, and left their Nashville mansion, is now attempting to mend the marriage he allowed to fall apart. Furthermore, according to insiders, he has been visiting Nicole's home, writing handwritten letters, postponing tour dates, and even penning songs about her. What became of this picture-perfect couple then? Why did Keith allow everything to collapse, and why is he now fighting for her? Let's explore what we know about Keith Urban's frantic efforts to reunite with Nicole Kidman, whom he once referred to as his angel. We must go back to how it all began to fall apart before we can discuss the pleading, the flowers, and the heartfelt songs. Citing irreconcilable differences, Nicole Kidman formally filed for divorce in Nashville on September 30th, 2025. The details were brutal, but that phrase sounds courteous. According to the custody agreement, Keith only received 59 days a year with their daughters Sunday and Faith, while Nicole was granted 306 days. Shared custody is not that, at best. Those are weekend visits. Fans' long-held suspicions were validated. While Keith traveled the world, Nicole had been raising their girls almost entirely by herself. Keith's world was anything but tranquil, despite the fact that the divorce papers were signed in a composed manner. In the background, he was falling apart. Do you recall how these two first met in 2005? It resembled a Hollywood screenplay. At a Los Angeles gala, Nicole, who recently lost her heart to Tom Cruise, meets Keith, a charming Australian country music star. They quickly fell in love, making memories of us at their wedding. He serenaded her. They appeared to be inseparable, and she referred to him as her soulmate. However, there is a cost to perfection. Only 4 months into their marriage, Keith's protracted battle with addiction reappeared. While the tabloids were tearing them apart, Nicole organized an intervention, got him checked into rehab, and supported him 4 months into our marriage. My addictions blew it to smithereenness, Keith would acknowledge years later. Nick decided on love. Their relationship was defined at that moment. Nicole came to the rescue. The man was saved, Keith. However, they would be plagued by that power dynamic for years to come. Let's fast forward almost 20 years. Keith spends the majority of the year touring. Nicole is filming 2 big movies at the same time. Their relationship was deteriorating, but their careers were flourishing. We have breakfast and dinner together every day we can, Nicole once stated in an interview. How do we go about doing it? I'm not entirely certain. That's not a woman's in-sync voice. That person is hanging on by habit. The conflict resulting from Nicole's recent roles followed. Keith was reportedly uncomfortable with her sultry scenes in A Family Affair and with a baby girl. When questioned about them in a live radio interview, Keith abruptly ended the call. People began whispering at that point. Perhaps distance was no longer the only factor. Perhaps discomfort and ego were also intruding. By the summer of 2025, things subtly blew up. In Nashville, Keith moved into his own house. Nicole and the girls remained behind. At a June football game, they were spotted together for the final time, holding hands, grinning, and acting as though nothing was wrong. However, Keith signed the custody agreement only a few weeks later. Yes, exactly. 2 months prior to the divorce becoming public, he consented to Nicole having full-time custody. Before anyone else did, he knew it was over. Here's the twist, though. Several insiders claimed that Nicole was unaware that he had emotionally checked out. When he informed her that it was over, she was taken by surprise. According to one source, Nicole was heartbroken. Keith had already made up his mind, but she still wanted to fight for the marriage. Then everything went upside down. After everything was said and done, Keith found himself with everything he had ever desired. Liberty, room, and his profession. But after a few weeks, that independence began to feel like loneliness. The house was deserted when he returned from his tour. No Nicole, no children, no routine, no laughter. That's when the regret began to set in. According to his friends, Keith began calling Nicole frequently out of frustration, as reported by OK Magazine. According to reports, he was writing letters, sending flowers, and even requesting assistance from their mutual friends, such as Hugh Jackman, to speak with her once more. Overnight, he transformed from a distant spouse to a desperate ex-partner. It gets really cinematic at this point. According to reports, Keith unexpectedly arrived at Nicole's Nashville estate in early October. He brought a handwritten, multi-page letter and a bouquet of roses. Sources claim that Nicole did not answer the door, her helper did. Keith left the note and the flowers and turned to leave. It's bringing the energy of a romantic movie's conclusion to real life. According to an insider, Nicole is establishing limits. She still has a great deal of affection for him, but she is not allowing feelings to influence her decisions, which is logical. She has previously been here. Once she saved him, she won't do it once more. Shortly thereafter, Keith performed live in Austin, Texas. He stopped midway through the performance and remarked, "Sometimes you don't realize what you have until you lose it." He then sang the same song from their wedding, "Making Memories of Us." Everyone knew Nicole's name, even though he didn't say it. After a moment of silence, the crowd erupted. On TikTok, users shared the video with the caption, "He's singing to her." In a single day, the video received over 1 million views. Keith looked more emotional than he had in years. Nicole, meanwhile, has been the epitome of poise. No shade, no clumsy interviews, no public remarks, just quiet power. She has also been in London shooting practical magic, spending time with her daughters, and confidently walking the red carpet. "I'm learning to take care of myself again," she stated in a Vogue Australia interview. "Knowing when to let go is sometimes a necessary part of love." Fans made the connection right away. Keith was mentioned in that line. Nicole is currently experiencing what the internet refers to as her glow-up era. She is not the grieving spouse. She is the woman who was reborn and ultimately decided to prioritize peace over performance. Naturally, the fame and wealth aren't the most poignant aspects of this tale. The family is the reason. Their 14-year-old daughter Faith and her 17-year-old daughter Sunday have grown up watching their parents balance fame, movie sets, and tours. They are currently acclimating to a new reality. Since the breakup, Nicole has reportedly been relying a lot on her daughters. Away from the chaos, the three have been spending weekends at their farmhouse in Sydney. According to reports, Keith has flown back from tour to be with them whenever he can. He's doing it for the girls, according to some. According to others, he's doing it to show Nicole that he takes change seriously. This isn't a tabloid scandal anyway. A family is attempting to start over. Keith's songs are honest, as anyone who has followed his career knows. And it looks like his upcoming album will be his most emotional one to date. Since the split, Kathy has been writing constantly. An insider told Billboard, "His music serves as a conduit for all of his suffering." It's frank, exposed, and intensely intimate. It has already been dubbed his heartbreak album by fans. You can almost predict the headlines, at least the songs that attempted to win Nicole back. This split struck a different chord in Hollywood. Nicole and Keith were adored by all. They demonstrated that a genuine marriage could withstand notoriety. Nicole has reportedly received support from Reese Witherspoon, Naomi Watts, and even Hugh Jackman as she goes through this transition. Keith's friends in the music industry have been advising him to prioritize his mental health and sobriety in the interim. It's similar to seeing two halves of an inseparable pair learn to live apart while remaining close to one another. The question of whether love can truly endure celebrity is brought up by this entire tale. Keith and Nicole had it all. Family, wealth, fame, and common Australian ancestry. Fame, however, is a beast. You're never at home. Even in your relationship, you're constantly on stage or set. They were more than just spouses. They were the ideal couple in Hollywood. And it's possible that maintaining that illusion was what gradually ruined them. Because nobody notices when things are collapsing on the inside, when they appear flawless on the outside. Nicole's rediscovered interview from a year prior to the breakup contains some of the most telling details. "We're not perfect," she said in response to a question about her marriage. "Together, we've had to endure a lot of growth. In retrospect, it almost seems as though she was getting ready for this. Perhaps this is the reason she is no longer resentful. She did her best. Her love, her loyalty, and her patience. And when it wasn't enough, she quietly left. Strength is that." It may have been too late for Keith to realize. Friends have heard him say, "I thought we had more time." However, love doesn't always wait for you to straighten out. He has discovered the hard way that connection cannot be replaced by success, that the quiet of an empty house cannot be filled by stadiums full of yelling fans. And to be honest, everything he does at the moment shows that pain. show cancellations, heartfelt speeches, and social media silence. The fact that he lost the one person who genuinely believed in him is all he is thinking about. Will Nicole ever be able to get him back? Reconciliation is not currently on the table, according to sources. However, and this is a big but, Nicole hasn't closed the door entirely. According to an insider, she will always love him, but she is prioritizing herself. And this time, that's the main distinction. Nicole Kidman isn't deciding to fix someone else for once. She is making her own decision. Nicole sees this as a sign of peace, but Keith may still be holding out hope for a miracle. If the story teaches us anything, it's that even fairy tales have their limitations. Love isn't always necessary to get over obstacles like fame, addiction, and distance. Love can sometimes teach you when to stay and when to leave. Perhaps the fact that the story isn't about celebrity drama is what makes it so powerful. It's about actual people, feelings, and heartache that cannot be remedied by millions of dollars. What do you think then? Has Nicole finally put an end to one of Hollywood's most famous love stories, or should she give Keith another chance? Leave a comment below with your thoughts. I would like to know your thoughts. Anyway, this brings the video for today to a close. To ensure you don't miss any upcoming uploads, make sure to turn on the post notification bell and subscribe to me for future celebrity videos. See you at the next one. Until then,